The good thing for Spurs is if you're hard to play against, then you're not going to concede too many goals. So Palace might struggle if they're not really at it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Palace did something, because it seems like something's going on there, and it might not be this weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised if it clicked into gear at some point soon, because Vieira, he seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah, former teammate, an Arsenal legend. Did you see him going into management?
I think that's always difficult. We have that stereotype who's going to be manager and not. But Patrick was obviously a great football player. He defensively, he was very good with his need to know the tactics, because he had so many offensive players around him just running out of space, and he had to cover. But I think he did it the right way, in my opinion. I think he went into the City's youth part a little bit and coached there, and I think he was the academy manager at one stage, and then obviously stayed in their system, went to City in New York, and then obviously came back, I think it was in Nice, and now he's at Palace. So he's gained experience. He's started with the young and all that kind of stuff. So I think he has a lot of knowledge, and he knows how to handle the players that are at Palace. And I hope and I think he'll be successful. So it won't show my predictions, but I really hope that they win here on the weekend.
It's a bit of a new era at Crystal Palace as well, because they got rid of a lot of experienced players in the summer. So as you mentioned, there's a lot of younger, a lot of new players there for Patrick to work with. Will he enjoy the fact that he's got something new to build there?
Yeah, I think so. As a manager, like if you get something new, that's really interesting. That's something you need to make something out of. And of course, it's difficult at the same time. But what Patrick's done, like he hasn't, maybe I'm wrong here, but he's changed so much. Like I saw him, for example, when he was in New York. I think he started one stage with a back three, and he thought that was interesting. He played around with that a little bit, but he hasn't changed the tactics that drastically, and he actually keeps some of it what they've done before and just change small bits and pieces here and there. And I think that's important as well. So you don't just go in and like throw everything old out the window, and that's been bad. That's difficult maybe to get people to come with you then.
Okay, right, that's all of our featured games. Now we'll bring you up to speed with what else is happening up and down the division as we head around the grounds.
Brighton is a club that have done very well. The last years is the 5th season in the Premier League. I think Graham Potter and his coaching staff have done fantastically good. I think they were unlucky last year not to finish higher in the league, and I think it's going to be our toughest opponent so far.
Obviously, I know Thomas, and from my time at Swansea playing against his Brentford sides, I've always found them very, very tough to play. They've changed a little bit in terms of their formation and how they play, but same things in terms of great organisation. They've done a fantastic job. Really hard to play against. I think they're hard to score against. The back five, they do that well. They've got some clear attacking ideas. So yeah, they've made a good start.
We lost against them in the final game. We know the strength they have. They have very good individual qualities in the team, but also a clear and very efficient way of playing football. And this is the reason why they are so successful.
Well, I've always thought Southampton have got a good team. I think they've got a really good model in the way that they work at the club. I think that they know their level, they know how they go about it, and I think they've tried to continue that again. I think when you're at clubs, and I've been there before, where you have to sell players on and bring other players in, sometimes you always feel that the players you're selling are a big miss, but quite often it's the new young players and the new players you bring in give everybody a lift. So it'll be a tough game.
We know we have in front a strong team. They know exactly what they want to play. They know exactly which space they want to stop, and we have a strong game. Because, I don't want the people maybe thinking about they don't have a point, so they are without. No. You sure we have in front a very good players. We have in front a very good team.
Every game it's hard. Every game has its own history. Every game needs a different strategy. So we come for the games with that mentality to win games. And for sure, we did 2 first good games. We create a lot of chances. we don't concede too many chances to our opponent. But in the end, we don't have points, and we know we need to win games.
We have not the biggest squad in terms of numbers. We can just feel it now when we miss like 2 players. We already end up in thinking about who is in the squad tomorrow, who makes it in the 18. But we have a strong squad in terms of quality and character, and I'm very happy that Saul is now a big part of it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're Champions League winners. A fantastic team, fantastic coach, and you can see from the start they've had already that it's going to be a very, very tough game. We're planning to play against Lukaku because I believe he trained yesterday, which tells me that he'll be playing.
The team is a strong team, physically very strong. They know each other really well. They know the manager, how they want to play, the style. The strikers are strong, good in the air. McNeil has a good left foot, good deliveries, and then all these players, they know each other for a while and they know how they play. So it's a very dangerous team to play against. But okay, we have confidence and we will try to be sure that we do well.
He's a well-travelled manager, top manager, like there are many in the Premier League who've, done all sorts in the game and lots of good stuff. So it's never easy going against these sides, and particularly when they've got good managers, but they've got good players as well. People forget that. It's not just the managers. Good managers often work with good players, and he's both, I think, good manager and working with good players.
Let's start then with Brentford against Brighton, 2 teams that have started the season well, but in Brentford, they are the team on the longest current unbeaten run in the top 4 tiers of English football. Will it continue this weekend?
They've got every chance to. This is a game they will target 3 points. They got off to a great start at home against Arsenal. I know it's only Arsenal, but it was
No, I sit and take it. What can I do?
It was 3 points, and their home advantage, I say it, their home advantage will be massive for Brentford to stay in the Premier League. And playing against Brighton, it's been an okay start for them. They've got every chance to take 3 points here.
Yeah. OK, what about Southampton against West Ham? West Ham have had a brilliant start to the season as well. And Antonio was named Premier League Player of the Month as well. What about him in the start to his season?
No, of course, he's a very powerful player and he's very effective in what he does. And I think how West Ham now plays, it suits his game very well. So it's been great for him. I think, though, it's going to be a bit more difficult, I think, for them to play against Southampton away. How Southampton plays, they're quite energetic and they're quite difficult to play against. So I think it's been an even game.
Yeah, Southampton still looking for their first win of the season. They've got a couple of decent draws in there. What have you made of their start?
It's difficult again because it is early, and the way last season went for them kind of unravelled. The way they got rid of some key players in the summer, didn't really replace them. It's easy to get caught up in that. How's this going to go? But again, if you're talking about West Ham and last season when they were going, can they get top 4? Can they get top 6? The problem with teams of kind of West Ham stature there, when they're playing really well, is the consistency. So again, coming off the international break, a bit disjointed maybe, going to an away ground. Southampton put on a bit of a performance against Man United the other week when they were at home. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Southampton turned the tables in this one, to be honest. OK, what about Watford against Wolves? Wolves yet to score. They've lost all 3 of their games, but they've had the 3rd most shots so far this season. It's a bit of a curious one.
Yeah, the manager, Large, who's come in there, he'd be unlucky not to look at the table now and see that they haven't got any points. I thought they played well against Tottenham, dominated. They'll win this game. Yeah. I'm not sure Watford have got the quality. And if they play anything like they've done in their opening 3 games, it'll be a away win here. Wolves will win. OK. We've been talking a lot about the return of Ronaldo to Manchester United, but Tim mentioned earlier Lukaku going to Chelsea. Chelsea-Aston Villa looks a great game for this weekend as well. What have you made of Chelsea so far? Are they up there for you as title contenders?
Yeah, no, 100%. They're very solid. They're very difficult to beat them. Feels like when they take the lead, it's almost impossible to get back at them. And I like how they bought Lukaku. He obviously identified one position he really wants something, and they broke the bank to get him. I think that's how you get a really competitive team, and that's already shown. So no, it was a great buy, I think, and they're going to be very dangerous and very good. OK, Everton against Burnley to finish off with. Everton unbeaten under Rafa Benitez. It's been an all right start for him, hasn't it? It has been a good start, yeah, because
we're talking about Nuno at Spurs and certain styles maybe not working with the fan base, but I think he can play Benitez's style of football with Everton, and as long as it's successful, they won't mind. If they were to win games 1-0 and not play in a particularly nice way, it wouldn't be the end of the world. They did that with Moyes, and they liked that. It was successful for them, and that's the kind of style you're going to get with him. He's very effective. James Rodriguez, he knows he's going to have to move on because the play's not coming through him. It's going wide. It's going to be balls into the box, and unfortunately on Monday, Burnley will probably be trying to do the same thing. So